it out.
Woohoo!
The
Hey,
tweets.
we're live.
We're
Oh,
live.
we're live?
Yeah.
Well, like literally just now.
Okay. Well,
Oh my
that
God,
means
we're live.
that means I gotta watch my language.
Nando, we're live. No way.
The hype is real.
The hype is real. As I
We're
look at
our
my
own
phone.
best fans. No.
Heck yeah, we are.
Damn right.
Yeah, so we're linking to at DJ Temple Music and at Temple Music Academy. Well, Temple Music Abbey. Are those the two Twitters to link to?
Temple Music Abbey is. I think the other one is Ginger Tornado.
Okay.
That's definitely my Twitter handle. Let me confirm just to make sure I'm not an idiot. Well, I am an idiot.
Then who's DJ Temple Music?
It's probably an outdated one that I tried to be cool and realized nobody thinks I'm cool.
I think you're cool.
I'm not
Thanks,
the only
buddy.
I
one
don't
who
think you're
thinks that
cool.
way.
I don't know. Like I hear Ginger Tornado and I'm going, do I want to click on that link?
Yeah. it's because I'm ginger and a homewrecker.
I get it. Just saying. I have bad experience with names like that.
I love it.
Somehow always links to an OnlyFans.
Hey,
Cheers.
dude, Ginger's gotta eat, man. Ginger's gotta eat.
Tell you the truth, those OnlyFans pages they're making more money than anybody right now, to be honest.
They are. I don't know what is that though.
What?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
What is what? Oh,
Never mind.
I'll send
have
you
your
a
wife-
link.
I'll have your wife explain it to you.
Don't send me a link. Don't send me anything.
That's your
Nut
work
job.
computer, right?
Yeah, it doubles as both.
That's always the worst thing too, when somebody sends something like at work. They send it to you and they go, you're not on your work computer, are you?
Yeah, after they send it.
As soon as you touch a link, it like everything's tracked on the work computers, and it's like, oh my god, what did you send me?
I'm guessing that's coming from Adam.
No, no, he's actually pretty docile. He sends it to my personal phone, where there's a bunch of, I call them. We have two twins that work with us, Grant and Blake, and I either call them the Grant twins or the Blake twins, and those two. My God, those guys are relentless. And then once they get everybody else going, it's just a domino effect, and things start to escalate and get just completely out of hand. And it's like, okay, let me just close this and open up my phone, and that way I'm not going to get fired for whatever they send me. It's mostly TikToks, but
Love TikTok.
sometimes if they get a couple of the other guys, it's like, okay, you're banned.
Yeah.
But it's been really crazy this week. It's a very busy week for us. Super Bowl
Of course,
in the
with the
States.
Super Bowl, you guys should be. You mentioned that like a million bags
Oh,
on a
yeah.
store.
$1 million in one store. One store will do over $1 million this weekend. They're
That's
already.
a lot of Cheetos.
I'm just gonna shut my open sign off. Do I got a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, he's got an open sign?
Yeah, it's probably at the studio.
I want an open sign. I have an
Your
open
business.
sign. I
You
do. Yeah. Funny story, real quick one. Everybody's seen those shows where
we are
people
live.
buy. Yeah, it's fine. This will be a fun one for anybody that joins in. You ever see those shows where the people bid on like abandoned storage lockers and stuff?
Storage Wars.
Storage Wars.
Yep. Okay. So you know. All right.
I love Storage Wars.
My father was a fan of that show for a while. So much so that he got himself into a bidding in Rochester, New York, and won one. It was outside of Rochester. I don't know exactly where it was, but he won it, and he got all this stuff. He cleaned it out, and he brings it to his house. He goes, oh, come on up and, see if there's anything you want or anything. There's a lot of good stuff in here. It was a good buy. It was a really good deal. Okay. His first storage locker, and I start taking stuff out to put in his garage, and, there's an entertainment center. There's this, and then there's a giant makeup mirror with a bunch of lights. And then there's a neon open sign.
Is that why your makeup looks so good, Joe?
Yes.
Okay.
I did borrow it. And then there was this big metal pole. And then there was some other
a big metal pole.
Oh, tell me more, Joe.
And I'm like, Dad, where did you get this storage locker? He goes, it was outside of Rochester. Got a really good price. There's a lot of good stuff in here. The person must have been a makeup artist or something. I go, or something. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, Dad, that's a stripper pole. He goes, what? What are you talking about? I go, Dad, the brackets are still there. I go, that's a stripper pole. You bought a stripper storage locker. And my mother looked at him and goes, you're bringing it all back right now. No. You know what those things go for? That's a lot of money right there. You have no idea what you're talking about, Joan.
So why is there an open sign?
He gave it to me. He didn't know what to do with it. And he goes, here, have this. It's sitting in my carport right now, hoping somebody steals it. And we had a garage sale 2 years ago where I actually had a for sale sign on it and then a for free sign over it. And then there was this creepy clown figure, like statue in there too. And he gave it to me. And it's still out in the carport because it's haunting. And I had, if you touch it, you own it. It's free. And nobody wanted it. So now if anybody wants an open sign, I will mail it to you, and you can have it.
How big?
It's probably about...
How big is it?
About 3 feet by 2.
Amanda?
What?
Can we get an open sign, please?
For what?
Does it light up at least?
Only if I get a goat.
A goat.
I heard that.
Fair trade.
When we move...
Only if I get a goat.
Okay, fine. We'll get a goat.
Okay.
Cool.
My wife wants yard chickens for some reason. She's obsessed with having yard chickens.
Goats are basically dogs of a farm.
Yeah, and they'll keep your grass short.
Right, exactly. And they'll keep the grass short. We're getting a goat.
The discussions we have pre-show.
Yeah.
I did not realize I would derail us that bad.
Well,
you've got your intro
it's
now.
par for the course.
Yeah.
That's one of
It's
them.
the open sign and the goat.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, Ted, we're not talking about the one game. We actually did not
Crossing?
talk about that one game.
What, Animal Crossing?
That one, yeah.
What?
Get it out.
Get it out
First
now.
thing, and now we can go on with the show.
Get it out
Indeed.
So everyone ready to start?
Absolutely.
You good, DJ?
I'm born ready, brother.
You need a marker? You need a marker, Joe?
No, I
You just do it now for fun.
All right. So on 3, everyone clap. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, perfect. All in sync.
I know. The information presented on this podcast is of a general nature and is intended for educational and entertainment purposes. While many of the people here have some form of mental health training, they are not your mental health professional. This podcast is not a replacement for mental or physical care or for the diagnosis of any mental health illness or condition. So, hello, and thank you for joining us once again for the Guardians MH podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Goku, and with me tonight is my good friend Joe,
Hello.
Nate,
Cheers.
and Matt.
Hi.
If you're joining us for the first time, Guardians MH is a 501c3 nonprofit focused on promoting mental health awareness throughout the gaming community. We strive to be a first step in assisting individuals with gathering meaningful resources in a safe and inclusive atmosphere. Our podcast is just another way to normalize talking about mental health and is a fusion of mental health topics and gaming. So tonight, please welcome our guest, DJ. How are you doing, DJ?
I am great. In fact, I'm not quite a doctor, but I do have my master's degree in Vegeta.
Good enough.
I love it.
Oh, this is going to be a fun show, like I was saying earlier.
Oh yeah, this could be a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle in.
It took me a minute too. It like caught me off guard. I'm like, master's degree in Vegeta. What is that? Oh,
You know?
Womp womp.
So for the people that are just joining us and they may not know who you are, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Who the hell are you?
Yeah, to the people that don't know who I am, which is everybody.
Lies.
Let's be real here. My own mother forgets who I am. That's not sad. That's dementia. Okay, so my name is DJ. I own and run the Temple Music Academy. I also play guitar in a death metal band called Without Mercy. We sing love songs. That's why we chose the name that we did. And many people know me as the Ginger Tornado, in which I started a moniker Ginger Approved because I wasn't narcissistic enough, so I needed to put my face on a sticker going like this.
that's fantastic.
Love it.
Now I need to get one of these stickers.
I know a guy.
You know a guy?
Which guy?
I'm the guy.
No.
Yeah.
And for me, when I first met you through your YouTube channel, through the Temple Music Academy channel, through your reaction videos. And like I was telling you through email and just before we started, you're one of the reasons why I got back into some of the bands that I used to like, and particularly Nightwish. So what made you decide to make a YouTube reaction channel?
I think my actual students here, I'm currently at the Music Academy, like the physical location, and I just finished a teaching day. And like any other teaching day, some of the students were suggesting I film these reaction videos because they would see me react here in a lesson when they asked me to teach them Nightwish or some band I was not super familiar with. So it just became a thing I did to pass some time during one of the pandemic shutdowns that we had, and it just kind of grew, which was, I mean, speaking of Nightwish, the Nightwish Army was amazing to help my channel grow, as well as Nightwish themselves shared my little tease. I put a video up called Why Nightwish Sucks.
Yeah.
And you click on it, and I'm like, I'm just kidding. They don't suck. So here's a bunch of pictures of Nightwish.
Gotcha, clickbait.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And Nightwish themselves shared that one, so it was really funny.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
I have been enjoying a lot of your reaction videos too, and you post some stream ones too, and some practices and everything. Now you're the head guitar instructor at the academy, correct?
Yeah.
And I did watch one of your videos where you said that you just kind of fell into becoming a guitar instructor. How did Temple Music Academy come to be, and how did you fall into being a guitar instructor? Just kind of curious.
I'm a firm believer in life you require either inspiration or desperation. And in my situation, I had a crappy job, like a 9-to-5 selling TVs for, I don't want to name the company, so let's just call them Best Buy. And and I was selling TVs, and I was not super into it. And I actually got fired from my job for not signing up enough credit.
Right.
Yes, from not Best Buy. It was
Future Shop.
Yeah, we'll call it Future Shop. It was
PC
a
Richards,
place with a
Radio
red
Shack,
logo,
Circuit City.
something like that.
Yeah.
And I came home and had to tell my then fiance, because we weren't even married yet. We're getting married in 6 months. We're paying for our own wedding. I was the only one working. And the way they fire you is that they fire you on cutoff, so that like that night you get your last check, and then that's it, dude. Like you got nothing. So I had to tell her, like, I don't know how we're gonna pay rent, let alone how we're getting married. I don't know. You might as well just leave me at this point. Like, what's the thing? And I remember she was having a nap and she woke up and she just looked at me in the face and she's like, well, two things. One, your boss was a dick, so this is a good thing. And the second thing is you only held that job because you're trying to be in this death metal band. So you need to find a way to play guitar for a living because that's the universe telling you this is always going to happen until you do. So I just kind of started. I just took one student, lost them because I sucked. I got two students a month later. I lost both of them because I sucked. And through trial and tribulation, I just started cutting my teeth, getting a job anywhere I could teaching until I went to guitar school. And then, yeah, I just started my own after sick of everybody else doing it wrong.
Just like Cobra Kai but guitars.
Yeah, and like way less cool.
I don't know.
Hey, check this. Here's a
I'll
Cobra
take
Kai
guitar
reference.
over karate, though.
Hey, Matt. Sweep the chord.
No, I'll take guitars over karate any day. To be honest with you.
The chord.
Sweep the chord.
Joe's over here dying. I love it.
Nate's just over there going, I gave up bingo for this.
Yes.
One thing I really like in a lot of your reaction videos is you drop a lot of music knowledge in there, because a lot of the reaction videos that you can see is just a person reacting to what's going on. So either it's someone that knows vocals or knows the gear that's there. I'm seeing yours more in terms of this music knowledge, this composition knowledge.
Gotcha.
So talk to me a
It's
little bit more
interesting
about how you got interested in that musicality.
Well, it's interesting you say that because what's kind of cool is, and nobody knows this is going to be the first time that I admit this, is my reactions are like a Horshack test. It's you see what you want to see out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people focus on me talking about the vocal harmony pattern or the chord progression or something, and they divest into that I'm some piano player or that I'm a vocal instructor, even though clearly says music teacher. That's the rad thing about it, is I express what I'm hearing and what's getting me jacked or what I don't like in the song or what I think was really cool. And I make just general narratives trying to, I mean, at my core, I'm an educator, so I want people to know why they like what they like if they're willing to hear me talk for 6 minutes, which according to my Google Analytics, they're not.
I call all shenanigans, but that's a different story. Shenanigans.
But yeah, I think it's cool to just share general, like, why do you like Nightwish? There's a certain chord progression that's just dope as hell that Nightwish keeps doing. It sounds rad. Marco's a beast. You know, Floor is awesome. We could get lost in semantics all day about what vocalist is the better vocalist. That's just the crap I don't subscribe to. But that's the angle I'm taking on the reaction videos anyway. Because I was always bored about like watching these people go, cool, subscribe.
Hey, this is my favorite song.
Thanks for
Watch
watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
dog
says that
So
line.
the reaction videos.
Yeah.
The reaction videos I love are like jazz drummers reacts to brutal death metal or something like that's
Right.
sick.
Take somebody out of their element and give them something that maybe they've never even seen or done before, and they'll get,
And
get their
the best.
critique.
Yeah. And there's a whole reason behind that. So me and my transitions into the whole psychology aspect of it, there's a reason why we like to see someone react to something we like. So there are kind of two ways we can look at it. You're watching someone react to something you've never seen, or you're watching someone react to something you have already seen and already love, and you want to see someone else's perspective on it. So one thing that's involved there are mirror neurons. So there's a whole big concept and debate revolving around mirror neurons. So it kind of started back in the early 1990s, where a group of researchers, quote unquote, found, so it kind of came out of an error or just happened, where they were having experiments with macaque monkeys, and they saw that the brain of the monkey lit up when they opened up a peanut, the same way when they saw another monkey open up a peanut. So their brains just lit up the exact same way for them doing it and seeing someone else do it. And they quickly noticed this type of reaction. And we can't really do this on humans because, one, we can't plug electrodes on people's brains.
Why?
Ethics.
Oh,
I think history.
Silly.
would
We're also
argue
not
with
monkeys.
that.
Yeah.
oh.
But we're
Okay.
trying to see more and more about how this happens. And for humans, we can only do like this 3 millimeter by 3 millimeter by 3 millimeter box in a fMRI scan. But that little 3 millimeter cubed is packed of millions of neurons. So we can figure out that general areas light up, but we can't just figure out which neurons. But we're looking at these mirror neurons as a way for us to connect. So it helps us connect with empathy, brings us joy. There's also this tactile empathy that we can see with mirror neurons as well. So the sight of someone being touched elicits the same reaction in what's called the somatosensory sensory cortex for people. So seeing someone get touched elicits that same feeling for us. That's why we like to, again, watch either movies that have this romantic aspect, so we feel connected, or we see some people laugh. And even here with the reaction videos, it gives us a dopamine rush because we see someone react and we mirror their emotional reactions. So we've all had that.
So is that at all the same as like when my uncle bought me a Super Nintendo for not telling my parents?
Possibly.
That's a dark joke, and just gonna say, I'm loving Matt's reaction. So
I gotta go.
It's gotta go.
You guys want
Just put Amanda in the chair.
Amanda?
Amanda, you're up.
Oh my god!
This is more your speed.
But one thing with the Super Nintendos, back before we had YouTube and Twitch, the way we would have the reaction videos is say, hey, friend, come over and play this game that I finished and loved, and you play it, or you watch me play it and see how you
Wow,
react.
that was dark.
It was kind of the
Yeah,
primitive
Nintendo
reaction
actually. Nintendo talked about that a lot in their marketing campaigns when they were coming over. They talked a lot about bringing that, like, your friends over to play. And then even with the PlayStation 4, I think, as far as I know, please correct me if I'm wrong, as console gaming goes, PlayStation 4 was the first one that had the share play feature, right?
I think
Yes.
so. You could
Yeah, their
virtually
whole
hand the
thing-
controller.
Right.
Yeah, their whole thing was trying to bring that back to your friends sitting with you on the couch playing. I got to be honest, in this day and age, I've used that feature a lot. Like, let's play Resident Evil together. Hey, you take a turn, I'll take a turn. And like, I use it a lot, dude.
Because playing multiplayer games, the one I can really think back to is Super Smash. It's fun to play online, but it's better to play with everyone in the same room.
Super Smash is the same thing Nate calls his Thursday nights, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Nate. I'm sorry, Nate.
Joe is dying right now, I think.
I'm sure he is.
I just,
Joe,
I
Joe's
had
not
to
having
mute
a good time.
everything.
I do feel, as a musician, I do want to bring up that I do feel bad for Nate because he could never be friends with Dave Grohl because Dave Grohl fights foos.
Right.
So
oh, yes.
Okay.
Good.
It's okay. I stick around. I'll stick
True.
around.
True.
I hear Mr. T pities you.
But I think too, like there's also this really positive sense of affirmation too, right? When we find somebody on, YouTube or even Twitch that likes the same thing that you do and is talking about it and critiquing it almost, and somebody like yourself, DJ, being around in music, being a music teacher, you can critique. And the videos that I've watched, you're always very positive and very constructive at the same token. I was watching Voice Play when they did Carry On My Wayward Son.
Oh
And
Right, yeah.
that was a great video because the way that you not only brought it back to the original, but you also brought it back to the way that they're doing it and enjoyed actually how they were doing it. But what I like, going back to what Doc was saying too, you're getting requests from people. Like that was suggested to you by somebody else.
Right.
Yeah. So again, you get that.
I agree with you. Affirmation. I use the term validation too. Like I know I myself am guilty of like, I am a huge fan of this metal band called Meshuggah.
Yes.
And I love watching like jazz drummers react to what the drummer of Meshuggah is doing and just see him and go, what the hell? How is he? And I'm like, yeah, right? Right? Yeah. It's
because this is something that really, it bonds us. These mirror neurons help us recognize the emotion, and it bonds us together because, hey, we're the same. We like the same thing.
Right.
And it builds this shared connection.
Yeah, it kind of non-dissimilar to how I made friends in elementary school. Hey, do you have the same Pokemon cards I have? Let's
Exactly. It's that
So
common
it's-
interest, and it's that almost like that hit of, well, it's you like the same thing I like, you're talking about what I like, and let's be friends. Let me follow you on YouTube. Let me get that
Right.
Charizard that's now worth a ridiculous amount of money.
I
true.
think someone
It's true.
opened up one not too long ago, and I think it was closing in on 100,000. Some crazy amount.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's a bunch of cardboard. I don't get it.
I
Right?
would have been able to pay off student loans plus some if I still had that card.
I've never understood collectibles, and I never will.
Yeah, I know.
Supply and
Like
demand.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
100%.
But to switch gears on this, when it comes to music, what really got you into music?
I hate answering this question because it makes me sound somewhat pathetic, but
Lies. I doubt it.
it was a two-parter. So just straight up music as a general concept, my mother was really worried about the transition from elementary school to high school because we didn't have a middle school where I grew up. So she was worried about that and like the size of the school and the people and stuff. But she found this feeder program that after school in elementary school, I could go 3 days a week to that high school and learn like trumpet or something. So I grabbed that just because, you know, it was something else to do after school. And I just did what my mom said to do. And it kind of just became this thing I did. I wasn't into it for a long time. It just became this thing that I did. And then I'll never forget the day that I heard Pantera. Like you guys talk about Nightwish. Pantera's my thing. And I don't know if I grasp the English language good enough to tell you that on what level I adore this band. Because I was watching live once and that's when I clicked into the Matrix, dude. Like I was like, this is music?
Right.
Like I'm over here practicing Aura Lee and crap, and like, you know, green sleeves if I'm feeling frisky. But like, does that dude just solo over his own solo? Like, it was the coolest thing I had ever seen, dude. And like that
without bringing it back
that was
to Nightwish, that video you did, I think it was Song of Myself, if I remember correctly, where you got that hint of Pantera.
Yeah.
And you just lit up.
Yeah, you see it in my face, right? I'm like, oh,
I know this.
yeah, buddy got chops. Okay.
What was it about?
It's
What was it about Pantera for you? What?
okay, so there's a bunch of things, and I'm sure Doc will tell me the psychological things, but I'll use layman's terms because I'm ginger and Canadian. So the thing was, my dog sled was the thing about Pantera. first of all, was like the permission, if that makes sense. Like for the first time, I was listening to music that validated how I was feeling, what I was thinking about, and it was like it was okay to be aggressive and angry and upset in this moment. So it was like there was parameters to it.
Yeah.
And I was at a school that like you liked Metallica or you liked, Black Sabbath, or it was one or the other. You couldn't really like both. And neither one was like honest to me. I know that word to be honest now as a guitarist myself. It wasn't honest. Master of Puppets is a dope ass record and a killer song and all that stuff, but it didn't hit me in my soul. But the first time I heard, I know what song it was too. It was called 5 Minutes Alone by Pantera, and everything sounded bigger than everything else. The album was this dope blue cover of like a drill bit going into a skull's forehead. So the 14-year-old DJ was like, yeah, that's cool and violent. And then
because a lot of people really find music during their teens. That moment of soul searching, figuring out who you are. Mm-hmm. And a lot of teens find it in music.
And is anybody in this chat here, has anybody ever seen videos of like Pantera live at all?
Oh yeah. I mean, I have.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, but you're of course, I knew you were cool when this thing started. But
I'm so uncool. Oh my god.
Man, no, I'm cool.
There's a certain, I hate to use this word because it doesn't, again, my grasp of the English language doesn't give it justice, but like watching Dime play guitar, because I gravitated to guitar because of him, there was a swagger. There was a coolness factor that was like, there wasn't any sequenced outfits. There was just like 30 amps and one dude in cargo shorts going like, making weird faces the whole time. And when you looked at his face, he was having the greatest day ever.
Yeah.
And then I actually got the chance to meet him and tell him how much of a fan I was. And this dude, you looked like I just bought him a house. Like, he was so thrilled. After like 20 years of doing this, you still give a crap what I have to say? The dude was so genuine, so honest, and absolutely loved what he did. And that was the first time that I saw validation that it was okay to like that kind of music and be happy doing it. It didn't mean you were some evil, bad person because you like to swear in your lyrics or something, you know? And like, that's like, even now here at my music academy, when you open the front door, the first thing you see is like an 8-foot picture of Dime pointing at you, like, because
nice.
That's fantastic. That's the dude, man. And in a town like this at the time, we started as a heavy metal school, which we still primarily are. We called extreme music lessons or what. I'm a very religious-based town, so there's more, like, you can't swing a dead hooker without hitting a church in this town. That's the thing I always say. Believe me, I've tried. But like, people eat it up, and we're seeing this with. I can't believe I just said that.
Hold on. Let's stop. Let's get that laugh out. Let's give Joe an edit point.
Yeah. I'm just bringing down the quality of the interview here.
No. You're just killing Joe's soul. That's really what's happening right now.
This is great. Off. I love it. With the
he cut us off?
I love it. Look. He's muted and the camera's off. He's done.
Oh, I thought he meant... Did you cut us from Twitch?
No.
He's I think he's rolling on the floor laughing.
Oh my god. Oh my man.
But like, when we opened, we led with the metal stuff, and like, people come upstairs and I'm talking to this like 65-year-old woman that just retired, and her dream was to always play drums. She wants to try, and I tell her about the drum program, give her free lessons, sign her up. The whole time, Cattle Decapitation is playing on our loudspeakers, and just pure death and grindcore and all the absurdity. And she just goes, "That's interesting." And I go, "Yeah, this is what I'm super into. That's why it's playing. I'm telling you what I'm legitimately into, and I'm not ashamed of it, because why the hell should I be?" And I literally can dive that back to Pantera making this all amazing and cool and inspiring me to play and learn and study, and it's all because of Dime, dude.
Because music is very subjective. What one person likes doesn't mean someone else will like, but it doesn't mean one form of music is better.
Yeah.
And this takes me into video game music, where a lot of people don't see the composition and the work that goes into video game music as this type of art form. To me, video game music is music. And like I was saying earlier, when I'm writing reports, I have like a 400 or 500 song playlist of video game music that I listen to.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting point, because like, and this is a generalization. I don't want to get too hung up on generalizations, but the thing about video game music is not dissimilar to music or movie music scores, in the sense of a traditional song like Nightwish or Pantera, as we're talking about, has a vocal element to tell us the story, whereas the music of a video game has to typically write something to match or contrast the story that you're already seeing visually. This is insanely important. One of the best guys in the game to ever do it is anybody that works with like the traditional Nintendo people. Like Shigeru Miyamoto wrote some of the most iconic things. Like if I just like, this is what I mean by iconic. Like, I don't know, can you guys hear this okay? Or should I maybe turn the amp on or something? But no, it doesn't matter. But like,
Put the amp on.
Put the amp on, they say. The thing about music that's so amazing is it has to transcend every language on earth, or otherwise you begin polarizing your audience. We don't get this benefit in a dialogue-based story, because I'll have to translate it to a language for somebody to hear. But the really cool thing,
There it is.
there you go. The really cool thing is if I play a bunch of stuff, like if I go, what's a really good basic? Okay, if I go like this.
A little smoke on the water.
Yeah, smoke on the water.
Most of us start to vocalize the riff that we heard, and if you have experience with it, you'll start to sing some of the words. So the association becomes to the melody, to the words, to get me home. But if I do something like this, now then the question would be, what if you only speak German and you don't speak any English at all? Well, then you're probably going to recognize the song but vocalize some weird bastardization of the language or something to make it up, right? But what if I do something like this? And I stop there. The majority of us can finish that melody in our head.
Oh, yeah.
And then we start associating some memory of like, my big sister didn't let me use the controller. I always had to be Luigi. Damn, you remember that mushroom in that? And we have a whole dialogue that happens from this many notes.
Because it brings that emotion.
Absolutely. And then it brings the memories. Yeah. That's actually a lot of fun. You could be like... I wonder if I can still do it. The coin sounds are like... And then like you hit a mushroom or something. And you could be like, I can't remember that one. Anyway, it's really cool. And from a guitar perspective or a musician perspective, that entire thing you just did in your head was from this one chord.
Right.
It's just a C major chord, which we separate into an arpeggio, which is a fancy way of saying it's a chord played one note at a time. But like the second, that means nothing to someone. You sit down and start going, "Ooh, look at me, I'm so impressive." And then I switch to my neck pickup because I'm a fraud, and I start doing like stuff because I didn't have any girlfriends in high school worth anything, and I was a lonely, skinny ginger kid with freckles. But the second I go, it has value to almost everybody in the room every single time.
I'm going to touch on nostalgia a little bit later, but one thing doing some of the research for this is the difference between a standard way of writing music, where it be a song because it has a beginning and an end and it has this linear progression, and same thing for a music score, where you know what it's going to do. You know kind of the movie and where the scene's going, so you can build through it. But with games and kind of doing some of the research, it's completely different. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's something called indeterminate music, where it's kind of left up to chance due to the nature of the game, because you never know when the player
totally
is
wrong.
going to do an action.
You're totally wrong.
Okay.
No, you're absolutely not. I just wanted to say it and sound like a douchebag. Did it work? Did it work?
No.
You got
Yeah. Look at me.
So one of
I know it.
one of the first persons I through the things that I found was John Cage's with Music of Changes from 1951, which is a composition completely governed by chance. And this is kind of
the other thing to. Yes, I agree. And the one thing I do want to point out that's really cool is there's a social element, and I'm not sure what scientist would be best. Would it be an anthropologist? Who does social scientists? Social sciences.
It could be an anthropology. Kind of
okay.
the culture.
There's an entire decade-based set of rules of what was acceptable in traditional contemporary music at the time, which is unreal when you figure that stuff out. Like stuff that was written in 1950s was considered to be idiotic by 1970 and borderline stupid in the 80s. Like, why would you ever do that and do what we all laugh at? But one fact I really want to point out about like decade-based stuff that's really cool is anybody ever watched those old war movies like Band of Brothers and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
The thing that blows my mind about that is how one dude in another, and forgive me for not knowing the military terms, but like another infantry over there, like this is 101st and that's 75th or whatever. Some guy over here starts going, and Betty was a crocker, and then everybody over here knows how to finish the song. We don't have that anymore. We literally do not possess like community-based songs that everybody just grew up with. We turned them into nursery rhymes, and European cultures turned them into, like, for lack of a better term, like sea shanty stuff. We don't, as a Western culture people, have the ability to finish a song unless it's like, Uptown Funk gonna give it to you, Uptown Funk or whatever. And even that's gonna be dead inside of a decade. That's
my favorite song.
Because it doesn't transcend through the ages.
Yes, and one scientist friend I have said that, and I'm going to horribly paraphrase what he had to say about this, but he said something to do that shows how fast we're evolving as a society. It's like rapid fire now as opposed to decade. And before the decade, like 30s to 50s was a thing, and then 50 to 60 was huge. He cut the time in half. And then 60 to 66 or 65, and then 70s to the 80s. And now we're like 2021 feels a lot different than 2020 did. It's very interesting. And that there's a whole musical element, but I'm nerding out severely. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Because we're here to talk about that. And one thing I was looking into is within games, they have, specifically for the score, they have just that. So you have the sound effects and you have the player input, but the score is to bring up an emotion but stay in the background.
Right.
And the way I was looking at it, they had said aloric, which is based on the performer and the difference between each person. And then the composer is the composer, but then the player is the audience and the performer.
Right.
So the composer made the music, but the player is the one receiving it, but based on their actions is the one that is kind of moving the melody around, dependent on if they go into a house or not, or if they switch towns or a loading screen.
Right. It's that age-old joke of when you get closer to like the boss level, in your head, you start hearing why is there so much bass happening right now? What's going to happen? You know, it's that ramp up. And then you have like some amazing games, like Skyrim had a fantastic soundtrack to it. Even Legend of Zelda.
Because they play around with frequency.
Yes.
Because the lower the frequencies, it kind of elicits this sense of, oh, something's wrong, something's dangerous. Whereas the higher frequency, it's something, oh, there's something that you need to be aware of, or I got a power up or something.
Yeah, like you go into a magical cave. It's a more whimsical tone. But it really enhances the player's experience throughout their gameplay and everything. If you went through these boards and these areas and everything in these games and through this adventure and this journey without the music, you would have a much different experience than how the composer that added this music to this enhanced the player's experience tenfold versus if it was there. I mean, think of every boss fight when you get in there and all of a sudden, like Matt said, that deep bass hits, and then all of a sudden you got like Through the Fire and Flames is playing, and it's like, oh, here we go. And it just pumps you up. It makes it more memorable, you know?
Mm-hmm. Because there's another aspect there as well called the Mozart effect, which is enhances the spatial temporal reasoning and performance. And it's different than if you look at Mozart and the traditional compositions in video game music. The traditional compositions helped increase that alertness, but when you compare video game music, it releases dopamine, and just because it elicits that nostalgia, but it's made specifically to make you focus. Boss music is made for you to focus in that one task, which means if you use it at work, because it's made to be in the background, it tends to, one, heighten some of that awareness, but also makes you more productive because you're that much more focused.
Interesting.
And within gaming, they have this ability to try to build a world, and then you have the action sequences. Then you have the indications that something is going to happen just by music, and then you kind of recalling things. So they have to do everything within the confines of music. And for someone that's not really musically inclined, just baffles me.
I think a really cool way to also think about it is the anxiety we all get from Super Mario when you're running out of time and they just increase the speed with that one chime, right? Da 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 da, and you just go crap.
Oh crap! Yeah.
Yeah.
Really interesting. I remember I had the privilege, and I'm gonna call it privilege, of watching video games live. What a masterpiece that guy!
They're so good,
amazing.
And watching the piano player do the Super Mario medley, and the anxiety I felt, because he did this funny thing, the piano player that he used here in Vancouver, he did this really funny thing where he kept getting ridiculously faster and faster and faster and faster. And I remember sitting there feeling the anxiety of going, he's going to miss a note, he's going to miss a note, he's going to miss a note. I remember,
because you feel the anxiety from it.
It's so impressive, man. That's like my favorite composer has been Beethoven. I think I've said that on the channel before. That dude did that crap deaf. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what I'm ever gonna do with my life. I mean, I don't know.
But it's amazing whether it's video games or whether it's just movies or just orchestral like composers. The amount of emotions that come out of music is just, it's fascinating. It's amazing how, okay, I'm a huge Clapton fan.
Yeah, Clapton's great, dude.
So when I got to see him live, he played While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And I know. He makes the guitar cry, and you hear it.
Yeah.
And it invokes it invokes sadness. Now, granted, I didn't pay $500 to cry, but I was okay with it because it brings out this just level of emotion that's incredible.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's what you experienced cannot be taken at all lightly. It must not. As a musician, I'm trying to tell you, his effect on you is what we all strive for all the time. If we can make you feel something without actually knowing what the song is about, as I said earlier, we've transcended human language then.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Lauren in chat says Clapton always makes me think of that Simpsons episode with, you know, how is he making this guitar talk?
It's amazing.
Was that Clapton? Was that Peter Frampton?
I was thinking
But that could have been Frampton, yeah.
Frampton Comes Alive. Great album.
Yeah, and he keeps stomping on the pig pedal thing.
Yeah.
It's not working. Oh man, why did I get Billy Corgan smashing pumpkins. Homer Simpson smiling politely.
I run. So when I unfortunately due to COVID I can't run groups anymore. But when I used to run groups, I primarily do substance abuse work, and I used to run this great group, 30 people at most, where I would play a DJ, no pun intended, and they would. They would throw their song at me that they wanted to listen to and share it with the group. And being the social worker that I am, I would ask, like, okay, why that song? What does it make you feel? And it can go from really like basic, oh, this is my get up and get ready song, or it can go to, this is the song that played when I got married, or this is the song that my father used to play when we were driving in the car. And it invokes, again, that just deep emotional. And I used it more as a healing tool to sort of bring back better times and to be able to use the music to heal instead of, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, Joe. I'm joking.
no words in there.
But humans, compared to any other species, have that ability with music. We have this ability to tell a song and elicit emotion through these sounds.
Yes.
And that
yes,
wherever you are, whatever language you speak, like what you mentioned with Super Mario, it elicits that nostalgia for so many people.
Yeah, it's universal.
Whereas it is, compared to like Clapton or is it Pantera or Nightwish or any other band, it's dependent on if a person has listened to it, but everyone knows Mario. And
yeah,
nostalgia,
I think it was 1997. Mario became more recognizable in the world than Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
That's like a fact in some Guinness Book of Records somewhere that I was like hid and memorized, because I think that's cool to tell people now as an adult.
Because I was reading, I think, Psychology of Games. You had mentioned it to me, Joe, and they had mentioned that over time they use what's popular to market to the next generation. Or
I remember that.
And later on, we'll be using Mario, Sonic, or any other video game character to sell products to our generations when we get older. Because that's what we grew up with.
It's a fantastic
it brings
book.
up.
Nobody's had a chance to read it yet.
It brings up that nostalgia where it hits you with, it boosts your mood, it helps raise your self-esteem, it helps raise your optimism for the future. And I feel games can do that with just a couple of notes, because the sound is designed to be so memorable.
You know, I mean, nostalgia's gotta be a powerful tool, because I do some garage sale flipping on the side as a side hustle because I think I'm cool, which is not cool. But I remember like trying to be a hard ass and talking people down for Archie comics and crap. But I saw an Optimus Prime and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. How much? Like just a crappy Optimus Prime with a broken arm. You know what I mean? Right. The guy's like, oh, I was thinking like $50 done. Don't care. I always wanted an Optimus Prime when I was 8, and my parents said Santa would bring me one, and Santa never did bring me one. And when I was 10, they told me it was because I didn't do really good on that soccer team goal, and that's why I'll never have an Optimus Prime. And now I got my Optimus Prime. It's amazing.
Man, I would have mailed you an Optimus Prime.
I mean,
I have one over there.
I got 3 Starscreams. Never got an Optimus Prime.
Really? I'm going to be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Doc might be in Canada, but my rates are cheaper. If you ever need to talk, give me a call. Doc will charge you an arm and a leg. I'm like Diet Coke. I'm a little more reasonable.
Yeah.
I'm like Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Yeah, as a mental health professional, probably not good to throw on your card. I'm like Diet Coke.
we make business cards. When we make business cards for the next convention,
it's gonna be on the tagline for Matt.
I'm gonna put it when I make everybody's business cards for the next convention. I'm gonna write down Matt's business card is gonna look just like everybody else's, except a really small font in the bottom corner, like Diet Coke. It's gonna be on his card. I can't wait. I'm gonna write it down.
I'm so just the fact that I get a business card, I'm happy about it.
But when we talk about nostalgia, we talked about Video Games Live. I was lucky enough to go see them twice. I have a signed poster over there from the cast. It was in our city because we're rather small. They had 3 back-to-back shows that were sold out, and you had to buy tickets like months in advance. And every show they do, it is sold out all the time. Just because there's songs that you've heard over and over and over again, but there's this experience of just hearing them live and hearing them, again, COVID notwithstanding, in this collective of people that, where were you when you heard this? Or what does this elicit for you?
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, some of those songs when I saw it, that like even just the codex sound from Metal Gear Solid, that's like my entire 1994. And I had a whole thing for, I don't know anybody who's played the game here, but there's just that.
I had it as my ringtone for a while.
Oh God, yeah.
Dude, I got to make friends with one of the voice actors, and I talked to him all the time. He's a sweetheart of a man.
Hater?
And no, I didn't get the privilege. Colonel Campbell.
Okay.
Oh.
And early in the days of my band and stuff, he was cutting promos for us, like "Steak without mercy." It was awesome.
100% cool.
But
Lauren,
like just
so much
that little sound set me down. Like it's 9:30 on a school night, and I'm supposed to be in bed, but the home phone rang, and it was my uncle who called and said, DJ's good at video games, and I'm stuck on a level. I need him to help me. And he drove the hour to my house to pick me up, to drive me an hour back to his house. And I got the day off school the next day because he told my parents it was really important. And I just helped him beat Liquid Snake on top of Metal Gear Rex.
That sound elicits so much memory.
It's unbelievable. From that, and I went down this whole like 10-minute nostalgia kick. Unbelievable, dude. And that, but like, let's not discount, like, that game is a masterpiece.
Oh, it is.
Absolute masterpiece. I'll fight people that say otherwise at this point.
Nate.
What?
He's gonna fight.
When I saw them last time, I think it was 2018. It was 2018. They came close to here, and they were touring with Jason Page, which is the original vocalist for the Pokemon theme song for the cartoon.
Pokemon.
Yeah. And he did this whole tour with it, and we weren't aware that he was touring. It was kind of, they were keeping it hush hush. Yeah. And that song came up, and you just heard the crowd just roar, and it just brought me right back to like 10. I was 10 years old watching Pokemon on Saturday mornings. I was like, oh.
But that's one of the reasons why, like, I love concerts just in general. Be it if I'm going to the Garden to see Clapton, or I'm going to Starland Ballroom in Jersey to just be in the mosh pit as some random band is on stage. it's that connection to people. Everybody is in that room, big or small, for the exact same reason. They are there to see them, to hear the music, to see the band that they love, and it becomes more of this, like, you're not with strangers, you're with fans, you're with other people who
Right.
care as much as you do, right? So
Yes.
like it's been
Yes.
whether I'll never forget. I went to go see. I don't know if anybody knows the band All That Remains.
Yeah.
Went to go see them in Jersey, Starland Ballroom, and the lead singer Phil took my camera at the time, which was this small, crappy red camera for whatever reason.
Oh, the
Grabs
small,
it out of my
early
hand.
digital cameras.
Yes. Grabs it out of my hand and just starts filming himself screaming into the microphone. I can't tell you how many people swarmed around me just to watch it after the concert because it was just that iconic and it was amazing. And I loved it. I wish I still had that video somewhere. I probably do. It's on a hard drive
don't?
somewhere. It's on a hard drive somewhere.
Super low quality.
Oh my God. Because I'm also getting bounced around in the mosh pit beyond belief. You know, someone kicked me in the head as they're crowd surfing. But again, I loved it. And people think I'm nuts when I say that I love mosh pits. And no, it is.
No,
It is.
no.
Yeah, it's human connection.
No. Well, yeah,
Again,
I mean,
it's those mirror neurons.
Yes.
You're
Connected
seeing
with the
people
elbows.
feeling happy, so you feel happy as well. So you're gonna all feeding off each other.
well, that and I would draw attention to the haka dances of like New Zealand culture and stuff. This is a very tribal thing, and Western culture has the mosh pit. That's our tribal dance. I can't tell you how many things I've seen in a mosh pit of people just clotheslining each other, and but they still pick you up and go, "You
was
good,
just
bro?"
gonna say.
And then like you keep going.
There's the respect. If you get knocked down, somebody is going to stop the pit, pick you up, look at you, you okay? And if you say yes, you're getting shoved right back in.
Right.
Yeah, and like on a personal note, I have a story of when my band was playing in a small Albertan town, and the promoter had said there wasn't enough money or whatever to pay the band or something like
Don't
that.
ever pick me
So
up out of a mosh pit.
I grabbed an empty, because I'm an aggressive gentleman. I grabbed a beer pitcher that was empty, and I said on the mic, "We just found out we're not getting paid for this. So can we pass this around and you guys just put whatever you can into it?"
Oh, God.
And we just played our set. And I gotta say, the first cool thing is they loaded that sucker full of money. Like people just putting in whatever they could. And you see it like floating around, and then it starts making its way back to us on stage. And I'm like, "Oh snap, good. Like, yeah, that'd be enough gas to get it. Like, sweet." And just as it's like arm's reach, it falls and spills everywhere in the mosh pit. All over the floor, it's over. And guess what happened? They stopped, split the mosh pit out, and everybody grabbed the money and put it back in and then gave it back to us on the stage and went, "Good." And then they started just like circle pitting and crowd
That is
surfing.
awesome.
And
It is the respect of the mosh pit.
it is not to be. Well, I mean, as metalheads, we should. The cardinal rule is don't ever go in a Slayer mosh pit. Never do it. People break their bones in Slayer mosh pits.
Anthrax is
Like,
fun.
guys-
Going to an Anthrax mosh pit. So much fun.
Yeah, but that's because Scott Ian's a cool dude, man.
Oh, yeah, but it's still fun.
Yeah. Pantera mosh pits were something. And a few years ago, Down came back to Vancouver, and I got to see Phil in a stoner rock band. And for those that don't know, Phil Anselm was the singer of Pantera and the singer of Down. What's terrifying about Phil is his commanding of the audience, in the sense of most frontmans you see, and Phil's from like Louisiana, New Orleans or something, and he's got this real down south like voice like this. I'm Phil, and that's actually a really good impression.
That was good, actually.
But when you think of a frontman, it's like, "So everybody got crazy. Ah, dude, I said, move. Let's see it." Phil just stood there and was like, "Move," and then he just stood. And then people started to lose their minds. He's like, I said, move." You know, it's so great. It's so cool. Everything. And even like we're telling these stories. Matt and me, clearly we're the coolest people here, Matt. But like,
Amanda, I'm still cool.
No, you're not.
God damn it.
There's our intro.
So many good things. So many good intros.
man,
Like 3.
man.
Plus the Animal Crossing
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
Dr. Goku with the Animal Crossing reference. There we go.
That's
yeah, bring it home.
2.
Oh man. Oh man.
Love it.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's my talk on mosh pits anyway.
No, but again, I guess to spin it even into like to mental health, it really is just again the mirror neurons. It's that just large connection of being around the same group of people with the same interest, with the same just the same passion that you have. All right, and yeah. And it's expressed same sharp elbow, whatever, and it's expressed in like even in like punk rock mosh pits too. Like they're all different. Punk rock mosh pits are more of you're just shoving. It's a circle pit. Whereas you go to a death metal show, like wear a cup, because
Fair.
valid, yeah, because it's gonna get hairy.
I think my worst actual mosh pit that I was in was a mindless self-indulgence.
Oh my god,
Man, too.
mate, we have to talk.
That too.
So at the whiskey a go-go.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever come out of a mosh pit more hurt.
And they are just I don't like the only word that's coming to mind. They're a good band, but they're weird. And that's not I don't mean that in a bad way. But again, you want to talk about stage presence and you want to talk like just it's you go on stage and you're like, who are these people? And then they start playing and it's like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm here. I'm supposed to be here. Got it. Oh, I saw them at Bamboozle. That like the tour. Oh my god, so good. I could do this for hours.
Diet Coke I see?
No, this is a lot stronger than Diet Coke, which is probably why I'm talking so much. So I apologize.
So one thing I really wanted to touch on, because we're talking about video game music, and I know this is going to be a really tough question for everyone. What are everyone's favorite video game soundtracks?
Legend of Zelda.
Quake.
Which
Wow.
one?
I didn't even hesitate. Wow.
There you go.
Easily Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time.
A very good choice. It's on the top of my list. The 25th anniversary orchestral arrangement is just mwah.
Yep.
Yeah, mine all time is still Quake, and it was one of those. I never thought a video game soundtrack would get me actually into a band.
Fair.
Yeah,
Right?
I didn't even think about that. Oh my god, Joe, go, because I can't. I
You know what? Tell you the truth, I could go all nostalgic and everything like that, but I'm a big fan of the Destiny franchise, and Music of the Spheres. It's very well composed, and it's just I love it, and it brings back that real feel of experiencing Destiny for the first time like 7 years ago, and the
Brings
very
that
first
wonder.
vanilla. Yeah, and you could feel that discovery again, and it's just very chill to listen to. I swear to God, I'm not a hippie, but I listen to a lot of just chill music a lot of the times. And like you guys are all talking about metal and everything, and I loved Metallica, and Battery was a great song. And but my first experience was like with Grateful Dead and like Rusted Root, and it's like, it's like. Man,
I mean, I drove
Guys
off the
trying-
mountain today with the yacht rock going. So
Toto.
Yeah, crisscross, not the one that makes you jump.
Right. A lot of toe the line. Toe the line.
So how about you, Matt? What's your favorite?
I am gonna have to go a series. I'm gonna have to go Pokemon, because the fact how it transitioned from literal 8-bit sounds on my Game Boy to even what it is now in Sword and Shield I think it's just the evolution of all of it is amazing. I started playing like X and Y again, and I'm like, damn, this music is really good.
Yep.
For me, it's Mega Man X.
Oh,
Good game too. Introduction of
Right?
Zero, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
He's up there. on the
Somewhere.
top over there.
Tell you what, though, Final Fantasy VII had a really good soundtrack too, though.
did
Oh, geez,
Like the
yeah.
original,
the whole
like,
Final Fantasy
The remake.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
I-
Final Fantasy VII remake.
I say
It's
One Wing
so
Angel,
good.
and everyone knows the tune
Yeah.
right now.
I was Ghost Host Lauren. We were talking in chat too. Even the MMO of Final Fantasy has fantastic music.
Because we can all pick games and scores that elicit these memories. Because for me, Mega Man X has so many memories tied to that game. Or it could talk Mario, or it could Zelda, or Destiny, because God knows how many hours we've played Destiny. It elicits all of those responses. And it's incredible to see how they, like you mentioned, Matt, they have evolved from these beeps and boops from the 8-bit, and how they were so limited as to what they could do due to the size of the game, to these orchestral arrangements now, or complete 180s. If I think of Mick Gordon and Doom, so Doom 2016
Oh,
or Doom
yeah.
Eternal. You
that
listen to
soundtrack is
the
good too.
Doom soundtrack, and you're just amped.
It's so true though.
And playing Doom, and I challenge people to try this. Play Doom 2016 without the music, and then turn the music on, and it's two
Right.
completely different games.
Yeah. The,
So
the
much
music,
better.
the music pushes you forward. Same thing. Yeah.
And within any game, the music to me is an integral part of any game.
And that's why I said Quake, because that was one of the first times like the music set the scene. I could close my eyes and see the scene. The graphics didn't matter.
Yeah.
So
And the
Right.
example I can give, this week we got the announcement that Mass Effect is getting that remaster. And just hearing those sounds from Mass Effect again, just, yep, I'm sold. Already pre-ordered the game. Take my money.
Sweet. Guys, I'd hate to be that dude, but sadly I'm triple booked and I have to step out now.
No.
No worries. You want to give
No worries.
let everybody know
Yes.
where they can find you on your socials and find more about
Plugs,
the Academy?
please.
Yes, please. Find me on any social with Temple Music Academy or Ginger Tornado, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. Facebook. Hey, come say hey to me on Facebook, guys. It's always a pleasure talking my two greatest loves, which are video games and music, and I don't want to leave. I promise I really don't. Plus, Matt is awesome. He's basically going to Facebook friend request me right now, which I understand is pretty dope. Nate, hey,
I don't
Nate,
have Facebook. Do you have
good, bro.
Twitter?
I'm good, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna fight some foos.
Well, thank you so much for joining. It was a
Thanks, DJ.
pleasure having you on, and I'm sure we're going to be in touch, and we're going to have some more chats for sure.
Yes,
Please
absolutely.
do. All four of you guys are rad humans. I really hope we stay in touch. Straight up.
Right on,
Oh,
man.
we'll make that happen.
All right, guys. In the immortal words of my channel, watch it go.
Thank you, DJ.
Oh, it was so good.
Man. Oh, so many edits.
sorry,
But that
sorry,
pretty much-
Lauren, we didn't get your pedal question in.
sorry.
Yeah. Did not have a way to work that in. So
And
But that pretty much wraps us up for the show tonight.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So how about you walk us through those plugs, Matt?
That's my spiel. Okay. So thank you everybody for listening to the Guardians Mental Health Podcast. If you can, please leave us a review on iTunes, Podbean, or wherever you listen to your podcast. It really does help spread the podcast to others, puts us good in the algorithm, and it really just allows other people to find us. Keep up to date with everything we are doing at guardiansmh.org and follow us on Twitter at guardiansmh. Feel free to join our partner Discord server, discord.gg/guardiansmh, where we provide peer support, mental health resources, and we're just a really cool community. Come say hi. If you're able to, please feel free to donate to Guardians MH, our nonprofit, at tiltify.com/guardiansmh. If you'd like to help us fund our mental health kit initiative, please help us out there at patreon.com/GMH mental health kits, or our coffee at coffee.com/guardiansmh. Also,
I'm proud of you, Matt.
Thank you. I did that for you, Nate. If you want some ridiculously fire and comfortable merch, what are the kids saying? It's like lit, fire, flames, whatever it is. Go to
through the fire and flames.
Through the fire. If you want some through the fire and flames merch, don't go to our website. But if you want some Guardians MH merch, go to bonfire.com/store/guardiansmh. I think that's it. Am I missing something?
I think that's all.
I think I did good.
You did good, Matt.
I did good. I did real good.
Oh, it's one of those podcasts where Joe's gonna have to do 30,000 edits. And
Joe is still red. Joe is still red from laughing so hard.
Hysterical.
So hard. And
it was great.
Swing.
I could just imagine Joe just rolling on the floor.
But in reality, I could have sat there for hours and just started rambling about the concerts and music that I've gone to. Like this was a great episode for me, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like this was great. Doc, thank you so much.
No problem.
But,
for the people that joined us, thank you so much. And
yes, thank you all.
See you again. I think we're pretty much booked the entire month of February, so there's more coming.
Heck yeah. Can't get rid of us that easily.
Have a good night, everyone.
Who do we have?
Who we rating?
Well, no.
Oh, hold on.
Oh.
Hey, Lauren, are any of your guys on? Guys and gals on? Who should we raid? We're going to leave it to you.
The power is in your hands, Ghost Host. Help us.
Ghost Host. Waiting for the delay. Ladybird. All right.
Let's go.
Let's go host the Ladybird. My screen reader, for some reason, gave you a southern accent. Don't know why that is.
Amanda, am I cool yet? What do I have to do to be cool?
Night 10.
I did it wrong.
Who did you raid?
No one.
He hosted.
Oh.
So we got a raid.
I don't think it took. I'm playing music over this for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing. Pressing buttons like this. Beep beep boop boop boop.
Beep boop boop bop. Beep bop.
There we go.
There we go.
All right,
Yeah.
now we got raids going because Joe figured it out.
Good night, Lauren. Thanks for
Good
dropping
night.
in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. I did good. I did real good.
Joe did good. We all